is how South Africa is looking at adding renewable energy generation to its power mix. Well, Gavin Maxwell from Coolfin Partnership Ireland joins us now for more. On the topic of relationships, Gavin, good to have you with us.
Good afternoon.
Are we managing to forge the right ones in order to drive renewable energy in South Africa?
Well, I think renewable energy is a double-edged double-edged blade, especially if you're in the wind business. But I think forging the relationships is about getting the ability to seed more projects, getting more projects off the ground more quickly, especially for new developers and for the independent power production people.
So what's holding us back?
Well, I think Pan-Africa, the thing that's holding it back is seed funding, essentially risk funding. Some geographies are classified more risky than others. Obviously, South Africa is leading the way with many new renewable projects. Kenya is doing a very good job with developing renewable energies, but are they sustainable? The key issue here is how do you create transition to create sustainable energies in the longer term?
It's interesting because Alec often talks about the need for nuclear power plants in South Africa and why we still need to develop them.
I talk about why are they even looking at nuclear power in South Africa?
There we go. Exactly. Why are we looking at that when we could look at renewable energy?
It seems to be cheaper renewables, doesn't it?
I think that the language, the people have to be very careful about the language, about renewable. Yeah, renewable and sustainable. Okay, you know, for the average small holder who puts in a small biogas reactor in the middle of Kenya, for example, that is sustainable because he already has the raw material to produce gas for his cooking and lighting. Okay, but it doesn't necessarily mean he's connected to a grid, but he is becoming a good consumer. Okay, is nuclear a renewable energy? Is the other issue? Yes, it's renewable in the sense that it is, you know, it's self-sustaining in terms of its core, but essentially, do you leave a legacy for future generations to just pick up the cost that we haven't picked up when we installed it in the first place? Costs around, you know, 5 to 7 billion to set up a nuclear power plant. Takes a lot of support, resources, and so on. Could that money be better spent attacking the sort of 600 million people in Africa who don't have any electricity and make them consumers of the future?
So you're not a nuclear fan, I take it?
I'm agnostic to nuclear. I like nuclear in terms of from a technology point of view, and as a technologist, you know, I have been around nuclear, and I've had family who are involved with nuclear development for 30 years. Essentially, it's not a new technology. But there are legacy issues with it.
Just a quick question. South Africa, we often told we have great sun, we have great wind. Are we one of the most blessed countries in the world when it comes to being able to implement renewables?
I think that definitely solar, free-to-air technologies, that wind, solar, biogas, making use of the waste resources that there are and the natural resources more effectively. But for example, biomass is now considered to be a renewable energy. But it's only a renewable fuel until you convert it into electricity or into a fuel, it's into a liquid. So at the end of the day, it's all about kilowatts and litres.
I'm so glad you didn't mention biogas again, because I had this idea of, we've got one of the biggest politicians grouping in the world per capita. And maybe you were going to go down that path. But that's not exactly renewable, is it? We pay as taxpayers. But nice to talk with you. And we've had a bit of Irish in our program here towards the end. Do you ever shop at Spar?
There are Spars all over Ireland. Yes,
any good?
They would tend to be attached to filling stations and things, yeah. But I was here to talk about GenHub, about the establishment of GenHub. So I'd like to.
Well, I'm afraid we've
run out of time.
If you look at our clock, we kind of got satellite links that we have to go to in West Africa. So very good to talk with you. Thank you for coming into the studio.